Is the frequency in use? Is the frequency in use? Very good. This is Paul, K4PEW, Net Control for the Mount Juliet Simplex Radio Net. Is there any emergency or priority traffic? Alrighty, never has been. We have 508 sessions of this. Well, 508. We've never had any priority or emergency traffic. If anyone has any issues that they need attention, call 911 or call us while you're waiting for them. We can break for any time for that traffic. For information on this net, you can see us at on YouTube right now, which is on YouTube. You can look in the search block and type in the word my call, K4PEW, or Brain Trusts, plural, BRAINTRUSTS. Or you can, I'm doing something a little different tonight, so I'm a little confused. I'll tell you in a minute. Or you can see us on our website, 146415.net. Or you can go to our Yahoo groups under MJ_SS. That's Mike at Juliet _Sierra Sierra, which stands for Mount Juliet Simplex Society. Or you can send me an email at Kilo 4 Papa Echo Whiskey at at ARRL.net. That's ARRL. That's my call at ARRL.net. We normally meet at 8 p.m. every Wednesday and Saturday night. We've been doing it pretty much for almost 5 years, coming up next month. We conduct the net on 146.415 FM Simplex. And the purpose of the net is to have fun and kind of help everybody get up to speed and making their stations good, and so they can hear people that they didn't used to hear when they had quarter wave ground planes stuck up in their attic or on top of the refrigerator. We invite everyone to use the net to announce amateur radio events and activities in support of, well, ham radio, the local community, your families, and your station. Does anybody have any? Well, let me first go over. We got the big event, of course, the biggest event of since the other Ham Fest. We've got 2 Ham Fests coming up. One is at Huntsville on Saturday. That's this coming Saturday. Or we have the following Saturday. We have the ones that's at the Cedars of Lebanon, which is the 24th. This next one coming up is the 17th and 18th in Huntsville, and the next one is the 24th over in the Cedars of Lebanon Park. Most of you will be familiar with that, but you can look it up on the Short Mountain Repeater site. Nothing really to know. It just be at 7:30, 8 o'clock, and a bunch of people will show up, and it's supposed to be a pretty good ham fest over there at the Cedars 11. And of course, Tuesday night are 2 nets. One is a Simplex Net, the one in Bowling Green on 146.430. That's at 7:30 p.m. And then there's the WEMA, the Wilson Emergency Management Agency, has a repeater net on the Watertown repeater. I forget the frequency right off the top of my head, but I'm not sure most of you know where that is. I think it's the 835, 140, it's 835. And it's at 8:30 on the same night. Anybody else have any announcements or need any corrections or anything? All righty, silence all around. Well, we'll be starting. This is number 8. I had a problem, so you know here. Not a real problem. I just came in here to work on the computer at about 25 to 8, and just to get the thing started. And darned if it's in the middle of a Microsoft update, which kind of locks up the computer. I can't do anything with it, so I had to go to my alternate, which is my laptop, and I'm hoping it works okay, because not that it's a great laptop, beautiful laptop, but it's on wireless. I didn't dare disconnect the wired connection from my other computer. So I'm working off that, and I hope it holds up for the duration. I know the battery will, but I'm just not sure if the wireless connection to the router will work okay. So anyway, bear with me if it does fail, but you miss seeing the meter. I don't think you'll miss seeing me. I'll just straighten things out here for those of you around. We got all the 3 people watching. I'm not sure it's a whole lot of fun. I see Mike in there. There we go. We've got sound. Yeah, actually, when I first fired this up, one of the problems was, for whatever reason, it just killed the complete video, and I don't know why. I had to kind of restart the feed here. But anyway, we're going to be starting from the south. This is edition number 508. 508. It's hard to believe, but it's true. And starting from the south. And let's go south of 40. Please come in.
4TYJ.
Hey, good to hear you. And good to see you and Suzanne at the breakfast this morning.
It was our pleasure. Good to see everybody there. We had a lovely time, and I hope everybody liked the little treats that was divvied out. I had more to give out, but nobody took any.
Well, my wife said I told her about the cookies, and she said, "Well, did you bring some for me?" I said, "You can have the two I brought home because I already had one." She goes, then she saw the cookies. Oh, those are sugar cookies. I don't really like those. Okay, fine, I'll eat them.
Well, I mean, it was sugar cookies with the theme. They had some powdered sugar frosting, and I mean, everything on the cookie was edible. The little Teddy Grahams and their little gummy light preservers. Yeah, they were cute.
Yeah, welcome to the cooking net. Yeah, just because you put the sprinkles on, you're real proud of them.
Hey, I put a lot of Teddy Grahams on too, damn it.
That's no way to have a cooking demonstration. Yeah, that was good. Yeah, it was a good breakfast. I didn't give it even the count. About what, 12 or 14 or so there, I think.
Yeah, I think there was anywhere from 10 to 14, give or take a little bit. And had a good time. We ended up just got home a little while ago. We came back to the house after breakfast because it was got awful hot, and watched a very long movie, and then had to take off for our haircutting appointments. And we just got back. Overall, we rode 180 miles today, so it was a pretty good day.
I guess so, because it's what, 40 up here maybe?
52 from my door to Courtney's door, 52 miles one way.
Oh, I didn't realize it was that far. Wow, that is quite a trek. Well, I'm glad you and Suzanne showed up. It was nice to have you there. After those, I think you missed at least one, maybe two of those breakfasts, maybe three.
I missed the last three. Stuff like that just came up, but we were glad to.
Yeah, it was good, very good. Kilo Echo 4 Tango Tango Yankee Juliet. He's in Woodbury, and hello to Suzanne as well. We'll get her a license one of these days. She was complaining to Jim. She goes, "You can really hear my voice booming through the home. Everyone else not so good." And I said, "Well, you blame Jim. He's got the beam, not me. I'm not using the beam, but I'm going to get even. I put the beam on and really get her going." All right, who else south of 40? Please come in.
KM4 VVA.
Oh, Mike 4, November Yankee, Bill.
Hey, Bill. Hold on one second. Daniel. Yeah, beat you. How you doing, Dan?
Doing fine. Those cookies were great. I should have bought a dozen.
They were very good, by the way. Nice and festive looking too.
Yes, they were.
Yeah, they were delicious. I ate them all three of them. I know if I took more, I would have eaten 6 or 8 or 10.
Yeah, and I thought we had between 4 and 40 people up there today.
Well, it was enough. It pretty much didn't fill the room, but it made it busy.
Yeah, it was interesting because there were a bunch of people there, and I got to not talk with all except 3.
Yeah, well, the problem with that is I was sitting there at one point, and I said, there's a conversation going on all the way around to me, and I couldn't keep track of any of them.
I know I got in the conversation there with Ed and Brian, and the rest of them just got picked up in my hearing aids and were background noise.
Oh, yeah, you would even have more I don't know if that's confusion or just, I don't know what you call it on hearing aids. I know my mother used to complain about the same thing.
Well, I've got an app off my cell phone so I can direct them and cut down background noise fairly well.
Oh, cool. Very good. Well, it's good to have you in there, Dan. That was Kilo Mike 4, Victor Alpha. And he's here in Mount Juliet, just down there by Providence. Next up is Bill. How you doing, Bill?
Just wonderful. And you?
Doing very well. Had a nice dinner, and my wife had to remind me, she said, "Don't you have the net in a half hour?" I said, "Oh, yeah."
You better not forget that, because I've been on my honey-do list all day.
Oh, is that right? No, I can't say I did a whole lot today. I did the breakfast and came home and took a nap because I only got a few hours sleep last night.
We all need our naps, so I better let you get on with it so these other folks can get to talking a little.
All right, very good. That was Bill. Great signal. Kilo Mike 4, November Yankee, and he's here. He's in Murfreesboro. Good to have you in there, Bill. We'll get you to breakfast one of these days. Let me know if you need a ride. We'll find somebody. Who else saw the 40? Please come in.
Kilo 4, Juliet, Bravo, Romeo, Jess, Woodbury.
What was that first name again? I'm sorry. Jesse?
Yeah, hey, Paul. K4JBR. Just got on here and you want to check you out. And saw you on the internet.
Ah, very good. Glad to hear it. Yeah, we get a, so I think you may have heard me before say this. I was kind of surprised, really. I went into YouTube and I just typed in the word Simplex Net, not expecting to get several people, several answers to that. Well, we were like, our net's like 90% of the YouTube videos.
Yeah, I had to switch off my Bluetooth speaker and sort of get an idea when I could give you a shot. It's got a lag in it. I don't know how long the lag is, probably maybe a minute or something like that, minute and a half.
Yeah, it's no, I don't think it's that long. I think it's a little shorter than that when we're live. I don't know how long because I don't watch it, but I can see it a little bit if I'm watching my feed here when I'm doing it. So there's a slight delay. If I try to comb my hair and use the monitor as a mirror, I'm like it's like I'm in slow motion because I never, I'm quicker than the screen.
Yes, it may not be that long, Paul. It's a little bit. It's enough that you can sort of get an idea what's going on, and that's how I got to listen to you. In the beginning, before I even logged on, I saw you on YouTube, and before I would even try to contact you, I didn't have an antenna up at the time.
Well, your signal's coming in good from Woodbury.
Appreciate that. I haven't put my new antenna up yet. I've got a new antenna, but I've been out of pocket. I've been babysitting someone in Murfreesboro that's had a shoulder surgery, so I'm not home very much. So I don't have any way of contacting you unless I'm here in Woodbury. I appreciate it. Let's get on to the next person. Just want to jump in there and tell you sounding good, and I'll be listening to you on YouTube. K4JBR, Woodbury, Tennessee. We'll be clear.
Yeah, very good. That was Jesse, and it's Kilo 4 Juliet, Bravo, Romeo. We have two people from Woodbury now. Jim's the other one, and I think I asked Jesse about that last time, I think. But in case anybody's into this, Kilo 4 Juliet, Bravo, Romeo, Jesse in Woodbury. Good to have you in there, Jesse. Who else south? Please come in.
Kilo 4 Oscar, Foxtrot Oscar.
Good to see you this morning, Don.
Yeah, I felt like a stranger there for a while, but it's good to get back into the swing of things for a while and enjoyed seeing everybody. Had some good conversations, enjoyed the fellowship, good breakfast. Thank you for what you do.
All right, very good. Yeah, it's kind of fun because it makes it wide open. You go to some ham meetings, and it's not really a ham meeting, it's just a ham breakfast. You go to some ham meetings and everybody's just listening and usually just one person talking. And you have to wait till the end of the meeting or before the meeting starts to do any chatting with people, and that doesn't provide necessarily a lot of time to get to know people.
Yeah, it's a great group of people, and appreciate what all of them do, checking in and everything. And it's good to see everybody again. I tell everybody we have these ham breakfasts, but we never eat ham, but they need to come anyway.
I don't know. I slapped some bacon inside my lips there. It was good.
Roger. I'll let you get back to it. Thank you, Paul.
Very good, Donnie. That was Donnie, Kilo 4 Oscar, Foxtrot Oscar. He is in Hermitage, actually just south, but he's due south of me. I never figured that one out yet. But he's down there about 6 miles south of me, just east of Mount Juliet Road. Good to have you in there, Donnie, and it was good to see you this morning. You were a stranger there for a while. I was wondering if you had took off. By the way, we got to remember that other ham's name, Eddie, down there, down south. If you do, let me know. I might have him logged in somewhere, but I don't know where. Who else saw the 40?
I want to stop there to ask a few questions.
Yeah, you said you're going to stop in, maybe?
Yeah, I think I know where he lives, where you're talking about.
Yeah, very good. All righty. Oh, I know who knows his call. I'll have to get hold of Alan. Alan knows him. He's done repairs with and or for Alan. Yeah, very good. Who else saw the 40? Please come in.
Kilo Echo 4 Sierra Yankee Victor.
Very good, Larry. Good to see you this morning. I mean, you make a long trip up there, like just like Jim does. Except I don't think it's quite as far as Jim. How far is yours?
I don't know, 40, 45, I don't know.
That's a lot. It was a good day for it, though. Not too much traffic.
Yeah, but you got a good breakfast, and free cookies.
Yeah, that's right. I guess it's worth the trip. I don't know if it's worth 40 miles. I only have to go about 5.
You cheat.
Yeah. My wife says, "Hey, have you thought about going to?" I forget what she said. Oh, she says, "It's a great breakfast." She was that Greek restaurant over in on the west side of Nashville. I go, "We're not going to Nashville for breakfast." I go, just forget that idea.
Yeah, I hear you. All right, get on with it, Paul. Say how many we got. KU4SYV.
Yeah, very good. That was Larry, Kilo Echo 4 Sierra Yankee Victor, and he is in Rockville. Anybody else south, please come in. Very good. We'll move around to the east of Mount Juliet Road. Please come in.
WA4ZHI.
Good to see you as well. You had missed I don't know, maybe one breakfast, maybe 2. How you doing, James?
Doing fine. I feel real good today.
Well, good. Just because you got an early start with a good breakfast, huh?
That's it.
Yeah, it was. It was nice. Nice to see everybody, really.
Yeah, a lot of nice people.
Yeah, I think so. But again, I think we make it. I say we. It's like I said. It's never been a formal meeting, nor would it ever be. I don't believe. Not with me around anyway. And so I just like the format myself.
Yeah, we're all laid back.
Yeah, we're laid back, as they say, so far that we're laid down. All right, good to have you in there, James. That's James right here in Mount Juliet, right in the middle of it. It's Whiskey Alpha 4 Zulu Hotel India. Good signal to me. You're still using the same big antenna inside, right?
That is correct, sir.
Yeah, you're doing fine. You're doing fine to me. Are you able? You're still able to hear like Dan up there in Providence, right?
Most of the time I can.
Yeah. Okay. Very good. Anybody else?
I can hear him down here, Paul, my QTH. This is Jim, KE4TYJ.
Well, that's because you got that 11 or 13 element beam pointed at us.
It's only 10.
Okay. I've got 9. You've got 10. That's right.
I heard Donnie, too.
Oh, good. Good. Well, I hope you would. He's got a pretty good setup down there. All right. Very good. That was James, Whiskey Alpha, I'll say it again, Whiskey Alpha 4 Zulu Hotel India, and he's here in Mount Juliet. Heard all the way down in Woodbury. Who else south, please come in? Excuse me, east. We're going east. I skipped over, went backwards here. East of Mount Juliet.
November 4, November Yankee Alpha. Good evening, Paul. This is Dale here in Lebanon.
Yeah, very good, Dale. We're going to get you at another breakfast one of these days.
Well, it's interesting you say that. I was thinking about coming to the one this morning, but believe it or not, I forgot to set an alarm Friday night, and it was 8:30 by the time I woke up. I just had one of those rough nights. I don't know what to say. I feel kind of bad about it, but I'll get over it. But it kind of was on my agenda to do that, so I'll catch the next one hopefully.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We'll hope to. I got to figure out what we're going to do about the next one, because the next one is actually on the same day as that Cedars 11. I don't know if we want to have that or not. I don't want to take anybody away from that, or I just soon have everybody show up over there myself. Well, very good, Dale. Good to have you in there. It's always good. Everybody who shows up is, as you know, welcome. And hope you're feeling all right and get more sleep tonight.
Well, I hope so. I think still, though, the breakfast is a great way to start the day if you're going to a ham fest. I can't think of a better way to start it. So I don't think I'd worry too much about that. People run up to Mount Juliet, have some breakfast, and make a short trip down to Lebanon to the forest, and I think that makes a great day in my book.
Yeah, it would. We'd have to start earlier, though, I think. I don't know what time they open. Maybe we'll think about doing that. Or just have it catered over there at the Cedars Lebanon Park.
That's always a possibility. But other than that, it's been just another day in paradise around here. So back to you.
Very good, Dale. That was Dale. Dale is the EC for Wilson County Emergency Management Agency. His call is November 4, November Yankee Alpha. And Donnie was bragging about how well the WEMA and you guys were doing over there, which is nice to hear. Of course, I think you're doing all right anyway, because you're working along with us, and our group is more or less working, even if informally, along with the agency there. Who else east of Montreal?
CE4TWF.
Hey, you've been a stranger, man. How come you went to breakfast this morning?
Man, I didn't get to 10:30. Had a late night, but and my mom's birthday was today, so we had a big party. So anyway, I'll be there. I promise. You can dock my pay.
Yeah, that's right. We're going to take away your company credit card.
Yep, everything out here is good in the eastern part of the county. Grass is growing. It's hot. Good report. KE4TWF.
Yeah, I noticed the National Weather Service. I don't know whether it was them or the Weather Underground, which I use that weather information thing, and it sends out a warning to Wilson County to say it's going to, the heat index the next couple of days is going to be over 100 or whatever number it said. And then it goes on to tell me that I'm supposed to drink a lot of water and stay out of the sun. You go, gosh, I'm glad they told me. I would never know to drink water and stay out of the sun.
Good day to be out in the driveway with your rowing machine. I'll make sure to run 5 miles that day too.
Oh boy, I'd rather cook inside the garage than sit out there in the sun on that rowing machine. Whew, I feel like what do you call it? The Vikings out there rowing across the North Atlantic.
Yeah, with a cigarette in your mouth and hot coffee. All right, KE4TWF.
Yeah, very good. But that was Wes, Kilo Echo 4 Tango Whiskey India, and he's down there in Watertown. Very good signal tonight. Who else east? Please come in.
Kilo Echo 4 Dizzy.
Be careful. I might write it down that way, and then I'll have to change it with the FCC.
Yeah, I guess you just have to break out the old spell check. Kilo Echo 4 Delta Echo Zulu.
I knew what it was. How you doing, Earl? You're gonna have to get you to the breakfast one of these days.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Now that you mentioned it and everything like that, I just kind of, I don't know, just got my calendars figured out, labeled a little while ago. Got one for this month, but had to flip the other one over twice to get it ready for thinking ahead. But anyway, the old calendar's kind of crowded on the weekends this month and whatnot like that. I just been sitting over here piddling around with this here trying to figure out this new rig I got over here, and it's been kind of slow going, but it's been quite fun and brain teasing, and I don't know, kind of rekindled some old school learning I've done and stuff like that. So, but anyway, so far so good over here in the big city of Noreen over here in this neck of the woods.
All right, very good. Glad that things are going well. Yeah, you're probably looking forward to the Cedars of Lebanon Park thing, that's for sure. But well, anyway, good to have you on the air, as well as hopefully the breakfast in the future. Anyway, that was Earl, Kilo Echo 4 Delta Echo Zulu. Not a great signal, but I'm able to pick him up almost always, sometimes better than others, and some of it's due to conditions, sometimes due to which antennas he's using. Anyway, that's Earl, and he's there over there just east. Well, he's in Noreen, just east of the Cedars of Lebanon Park. Who else east? Please come in.
Whiskey Delta 4 Bravo Whiskey Charlie.
Hey, Jeff, you're really coming in big tonight. You must be using your base station.
Indeed, I am.
What is that? Was that the one that was having problems, or what?
That's the one. I think it's an intermittent mic. That's the only thing I could figure out.
Yeah. You need a second mic. That's what you need.
I have one, but I think it's doing the same thing. Anyway, maybe I'll have to bring it into Alan, let him check it out. Could
be. Which brand is it? On the mic? I mean, on the rig.
Icon.
Oh, I can't help you there. I've got a spare, couple of spare Kenwood / Alinkos, but no help on the Icon. Maybe a different setup.
I understand.
All right, very good. You sound good, Jeff. That's Whiskey Delta 4 Bravo Whiskey Charlie. Last couple of nets he was having. I could barely hear him on his HT, but I was able to copy him. And he's over in Lebanon. Who else east, please come in? Well, we'll always come back. Up to the north, north of Mount Juliet, north of Lebanon Road. Please come in. North of Mount Juliet. Any takers on north of Mount Juliet?
W4DBV.
Hey, are you waiting for everybody else to jump in there, Brian?
Pretty well. Well, I was listening to you on YouTube as well as listening to you on the HT. So you're about 5 to 7 seconds out of sync, and I never know what's going to happen. I can't hear anybody except on YouTube. So that's, I'm listening to them, and then I get out of whack there. So W4DBV.
Yeah, I got you. I didn't think it was that long, but I can understand why. I don't think it makes a difference. See, normally on my on the main PC, I have the connection is a wired connection to the router, and then the laptop I drug out a little while ago it's on a wireless connection to the router. So it shouldn't give that much delay, though. Really, I don't know why it would be, but again, it still has to go through. Obviously, it has to go through the YouTube servers to get to you guys.
Well, I turned it on kind of late, so I started out with a delay, and then I tried to move the slider over to get up to real time and couldn't quite do it. So, and now it looks like the progress bar is fully to the right, so I think I'm about as close as I can get to real time. So anyway, it's good for, I get an automatic repeat on everybody, including yourself, so that helps. So W4DBV.
Well, very good, Brian. It's a good signal considering where you are, and the signals in the past. This one is better than normal. I wasn't looking at the meter there, but I don't think it registered much. But the signal is good for what the antenna that you have. And that's Whiskey 4 Delta Bravo Victor. That's Brian, and he's northwest Wilson County. Who else north? Please come in. Yeah, and on live feeds, I think that red bar stays all the way over to the right, unless you're watching it after the event's over. All right, going over to the west. Who's west of Mount Juliet?
WY4G.
Well, I got Jeff in there first, so we're going to take. I heard another double in there. I'm not sure who that was, but we'll come back. That's Whiskey Yankee 4 Golf. How you doing, Jeff?
It's WY4G. Good evening, Paul and on net. I'm just trying to unwind after a busy week, but it's pretty much standard procedure for me.
Oh, I'm sure it is. I'm sure that the really hot weather is pretty bothersome to you.
Yeah, and especially some of the medical issues I deal with, it makes it kind of intensifies it. But I can't take too much heat. I can't get overheated. If I do, I start having problems.
Oh yeah, I'll bet. I don't know how you'd get around that. Make everybody come in the back door. How's that?
No, I mean, I'm talking about getting out there and, getting overheated, that type of, physical activity. I was warned against that, so I tried to avoid it.
Oh, you mean when you're home is what you're saying, when you're away from work.
Exactly. So that means, not getting no overexertion, and put it that way.
Oh, I hear you. No, I noticed too as I got older, recently, I noticed that I can't do as much outside when it's really, really hot out. It takes a toll on me. Well, very good, Jeff. Good to have you in there. Your signal sounds great. That's Whiskey Yankee 4 Golf, and he's up in Madison. Really good signal. Good to have you in there, Jeff. I'll have to get you to a breakfast one of these days if you can swing.
I'll try. I'll be able to do it. I don't know when, but one of these days I won't be. I'll just decide when this working all the time's enough, and I'll start being a little bit more sociable, I guess.
Well, we're pretty sociable at the meetings. It's very, very cordial, friendly, fun. Just it's a good time, really. Hope you can make it. Hope everybody can make it for that matter. We have to get out of that room though if everybody showed up. All right, that was again. He's in Madison. Whiskey Yankee 4 Golf, and that's Jeff in Madison. Who else? West, please come in.
KN4TJF.
Hey, so your power supply is working good, huh, Rick?
It seems to be. I'm thinking it wasn't the power supply. I think it was a plug in my wall. Actually, it's the culprit. My brother thought so. So anyway, yeah, sorry I missed the breakfast this morning.
Well, you missed out on the big prizes, man.
I know every time I miss, I'll give away the good ones. I don't get it. Is it a conspiracy?
No, it's an abbreviation. It's just BS.
Yeah, yeah, I know.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I was yeah, I'm glad your power supply is working out. That's going to be good for you. I mean, you don't have to get another one.
Absolutely. Anyway, yeah, I'm like I say, I'm really sorry to miss the breakfast. I like to attend. It's a bunch of great guys gathering up there and gals as well, and a lot of good fellowship. So I'll be at the next one.
Very good. We'll look forward to it. Yeah, tell your brother Michael that there's no returns on that power supply game.
I'll sure tell him. He's coming up, I'm sure.
Okay, very good. Yeah, K4PEW, the Mount Juliet Simplex Radio Net. That was Rick. Kilo November 4 Tango Juliet Foxtrot, and he is in Ashland City. Who else is next? West.
KM4YRF.
No returns unless you have a receipt.
Yeah, I told him I paid $200 for that.
That's because he was signed by Bob Heil or one of those guys.
I didn't give an explanation.
Well, I'm glad he didn't have a problem. If you want to bring that back, or you don't need it or whatever, just let me know.
No, we're going to keep it. I brought it home and it's putting out 13.8, so it's good. He just got a bad receptacle he needs to replace.
I wouldn't be surprised that power supply is from the late 70s.
Well, she's still cranking. He's using yours right now, so it's cranking good.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize. I didn't understand it. Okay, so you left that one there. Okay, good. That one. And the other one was that was what? Which one was it?
Well, the one he had was an Astron 20 amp, but it was bigger than the one I got from you.
Yeah. Well, for those, he doesn't need the big one. That's for sure. Like that big one will handle a lot of stuff.
Yeah, I guess it doesn't say. Well, it just says 20 amps. That's all it says.
I got you. Well, that's good for a HF rig that does over 100 watts. So he does. I mean, it's not that he couldn't use it. It's just lightly loaded when it's at on a 50 or 60 watt radio.
Oh yeah, we got it, and we'll put it to use sooner or later. Enjoyed the breakfast this morning, and really, really, really enjoyed those 2 bags of cookies I got, and I ate every single one.
Oh yeah, I shook out the bag in the palm of my hand and licked it. No, they were very good cookies. Well, very good, Michael. It was good to see you in there. See you at the breakfast this morning. That was Kilo Mike 4 Yankee Romeo Foxtrot, and he is in Bellshire. Anybody else west? Please come in.
Katie 4 OEN in beautiful Bellshire as well. And hello, Paul and the gang. It sounds like we've got a lot more check-ins than usual.
Well, we've got a bunch, and it was good to hear you. You sound pretty chipper. Are you doing all right?
I'm doing great, thank you. Better than I have been in a long time. So I missed all of you. I missed the net, and Marty did too. But we're glad you're still working at it, and we're going to get to breakfast too as soon as we can. Is it the 4th Saturday, the 2nd and the 4th, or which Saturdays is it?
Well, we got to make a decision because the 4th one, it's also a ham fest over there at the Cedars of Lebanon, which has only been going on for about, I forget how many years, 20-something years. And I don't want to have anybody miss the breakfast. I mean, make the breakfast, and I don't know what the split obligation is there. Maybe nobody'd show up at the breakfast anyway. So I'm wondering if I'd rather have people go to the ham fest to support that than show up at the breakfast.
Okay, well, I'll be listening, and I know you'll give out the date and time and everything, and we hope to be able to make it next time. So, good to hear you in there, Paul. Glad everybody sounds like they're doing well, and I'm going to pass the mic over to Marty. Katie 4 and Claire.
Yeah, very good, Mary. You sound great. Sound like they made you back to 100%. Marty, you in there now?
84 BQK, yeah.
Oh, yeah. What did you take the dog with you when you went over to stay at the other fellow's house?
No, we left her in our house, and then we were. I was with my brother-in-law.
Ah, okay, very good. Well, she must have been lonely sometimes during the day, huh?
I was here in the daytime, and the nighttime was at my brother's.
Ah, okay, I got you. So you were with her the whole time. That was great. Well, good. I'm glad. Yes, I'm sure you're very happy that Mary's back in business, and yeah, it's good to have. When somebody's in the hospital, man, it messes up everybody's sense of what home is, isn't it?
It sure does.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad. Did you get over the? Were you able to get over to the hospital every day?
No, not at all.
Oh, that's horrible. Yeah. So now I know you're really happy to have her home. All right, well, very good, Marty. I'm glad that you're doing well. You sound great. I'm glad Mary's sounds really good. I'm really happy about that. And Mary is Kilo Delta 4 Oscar Echo November, and Marty is Kilo Delta 4 Bravo Quebec Kilo. And they're both, of course, they live together, husband and wife, but they live over there in Belshire as well. Who else? And good to have you both in. I'm glad you're back, and I'm glad you're both doing okay. And everybody was concerned about Mary's condition and what was going on, and I'm just glad it all worked out good. Who else? Where was I? West of Mount Juliet. Please come in.
KG4CXE.
Hey, Chris, how are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing dandy. I have a ham breakfast and then a ham net on the same day. It's like a red letter day.
Sounds good, man. Glad to hear you all in there. Just want to jump in real quick. I'm doing some laundry and stuff, and I have a guest, so thought I'd come and check in. And I got to talk to you and Michael earlier, which was awesome. But you guys have a good rest of the evening, and say hello to the people that can't hear me. KG4CXE.
I'm telling you, though, you were honest. I was just looking at that thing, almost 30 over. Well, no, it's actually 10, 20. Yeah, it's almost 30 over on my meter here if you were looking at that on the web.
I'm happy with that signal.
Oh yeah, no, you're doing great. I don't think you're doing great in the other direction based upon what you told me about where your antenna is situated, but you're doing great to me, and I'm sure that there's people who are in this direction can also hear you. Well, very good. That was Chris, Kilo Golf 4 Charlie X-Ray Echo, and he is in Donaldson, right?
That is correct.
Okay, good. My memory isn't completely shot. Anyway, he's in Donaldson. Who else we got? West of Mount Juliet.
Whiskey 4 Alpha Whiskey Echo.
Very good. Good to have you in there, John. Someday the breakfast is going to be over here. You're going to be over here.
Yeah, I will make it one day. It just seems, I've noticed in the last month, the more I do, the longer my list seems to be getting.
Well, what you do is you just cross off all the other items and just start over. I don't know. Well, you know the deal, and I may have heard me mention. I know you already know this, but for the benefit of other people and me, I have to remind myself when I have a list of things to do that I say I need to do these tomorrow, and sometimes those lists never get done. And it's true of a lot of people, not just me, I'm sure. But the idea is, and I remember in some management seminar, is that the idea is what you do is you make the list, and then you put the hardest thing as number one. Because you'll never get to the hardest thing if you take the easy things first.
Yeah, I think my problem is a natural one that many hams and people with engineering backgrounds share, and that is, it's like years ago when I went from a wet dark room to Photoshop, I thought, wow, this is really going to save me time. But when you add more tools and more capability, you actually end up spending more time on what you do.
Well, with Photoshop, it's like an educational session every time you do.
Oh, yeah. And then, once you expand into all the other programs and, audio mastering and everything else. But it sure is fun. I mean, all of it's great stuff.
Well, as I've mentioned to you before, I think I have anyway. The hard part about Photoshop or any kind of work like that, where the end result is people get good audio or they get a good video or they get a good photo, they don't know and don't care what it took to get there. All they know is they're hearing what they like. and all the other, you might put 40 hours work into some audio presentation, and they don't know you put 40 hours, and they don't care.
Yeah, and it's actually fine that they're not that aware of it, because the work stuff should be transparent. There's an old, I remember a cinematographer with vast experience in Hollywood once gave me some great wisdom. He said, if you're watching something on the screen and you notice the camera move, you've already made a mistake if they notice the camera move.
Yeah, no, you're right. See, now maybe I'm probably not saying that correctly. It should be, and it's not that they don't care; they shouldn't care, and because that all should be transparent. It's no different than my niece when she was waitressing at a restaurant. She was complaining to me. She was about 19. She says, "Nobody pays any attention to me." And I go, "Let me get you straight there, girl. You're supposed to be invisible when you're serving food. They don't want to see your face. They just want to see the food."
Yeah, I've been lucky, and that even though it may seem like that at times, that the clients that everybody comes to me by word of mouth anyway, and they truly do appreciate it. That's why they come.
Well, no, it's true though. All you're really interested in is the end result. I was watching on video on YouTube with my wife. We were watching. There was somebody had taken a video on one of those back lot tours of Universal Studios in California, and you see all they show you the facades that they use for all the different city scenes, the saloon scenes, and all that stuff. And you go, yeah, you see, I don't want to see any of that, because I want that to be transparent to me.
Yeah, I see it from both sides. It's boy, those back lots are just exciting places, because once you leave later on, you realize subliminally that you've seen a lot of the images in your mind. You've seen those over the years, bits and pieces shot on those back lots.
Oh, well, the same thing is true, and I think we talked about this before. When I've done I did some, I'll just say, extensive Photoshop work. It was extensive for me. Let's put it that way. And I go see, and I see other professionals work in magazines or some sort of thing, and I look at the picture, and now all of a sudden I'm looking at the picture in a different way. That image. Now I go, hey, I know exactly I know pretty much exactly how he or she did that in Photoshop, because it's, in Photoshop you can make things perfect, and most images don't start out perfect.
Yeah, I remember a long time ago talking to a model who had just arrived in LA, and he just sort of made this offhand comment about it's sort of deja vu. I feel like I've been here before, and I just said, actually, if you watch television from a young age, you've actually been watching this city all your life.
Yeah, well, I think it's shocking to most people that Mayberry is in California.
Yeah, the magic of a soundstage.
I know. It's really great too. I mean, it is. It's good. It just, you don't want to. It doesn't matter to you. That's what's so great about it. Well, listen, it was good to have you in there, John. That was John Whiskey 4 Alpha Whiskey Echo, and he's over in Bellevue, southwest. I'll call it Southwest Nashville. That's the ritzy part of town. Who else? Wes, please come on. All righty. Well, then I'll start taking late check-ins. Please come on. Any place, anywhere.
This is Kilo X-Ray 4 Delta Queen in Brentwood.
We talked earlier today, I believe, wasn't it?
Yes. I just been listening in this evening for the first time, and appreciating your central role in this affair.
Well, yeah, it's kind of. I become, is a term I always hated when I heard it in corporate world. It was called, I'm a facilitator. It's not, while it seems to be my net, I can't do it alone. And it's everybody who checks in who makes it a net. You with me?
Sure. I can actually only hear about 1 in 10 of your participants. But what kind of signal are you getting from me? I'm on a different rig now.
Hold on 1 second. I wasn't looking at that part of the screen there. Go ahead and say again something and give me your call.
This is Kilo X-Ray 4 Delta Queen KX4 DQ in Brentwood.
Yeah, you were just about, if I'm going to read that meter, I'm looking at it backwards when I look at it, the screen. It's about, you were over as 10 over, but it was actually 10. It was more like maybe 12 or 13 over. So you're doing great.
Yeah, this is a FT8800 Yazoo and a diamond antenna up about 24 feet, but there's still a lot of hills in between us and you.
Yeah, no, but you were doing, I forget what you were doing earlier, but it wasn't 20, 20 over. It was something less than that when you were talking earlier, wasn't it?
Yeah, I was using a handheld, 5 watts. Right now I'm using the 8800 at 50 watts.
Well, that would obviously make a difference. I forgot that it was, it's funny to me, since I have a good, like I told you, great elevation, great antenna. So people can, if I've got a clear shot to them, I can't always tell unless I look at the meter that they're operating on something that's low power, something that's like an HT, or they're really far away. And so it's kind of it's more confusing to me, but see this, hopefully you not hearing everybody on the net will implore, that's not the right word. It will induce you, maybe that's not the right word either, to get even higher with that antenna.
Yeah, maybe. If I was going to do that, I better get a Yagi and put a rotator on it.
Oh, you could do that too. That's just, I have that as well, but that can be a pain because you constantly, then you have to figure out who's talking, and you have to swing that thing around, or you can do it by ear, but I kind of wish they made a high-speed rotor, so you could whip it around real quick.
I can hear him in Watertown.
Well, that'll be a ways down the road for me. Good talking to you, Paul, and hopefully I'll hear again from you sometime soon.
Yeah, very good. That was Ron, Kilo X-Ray 4 Delta, Quebec, and that's Ronald, and he's in Brentwood. And by the way, he just got Wes down in Watertown, says he can hear you fine down in Watertown.
That's cool. Kilo X-Ray 4 Delta Queen, over.
Yeah, very good. Good to have you in there. I'm glad you're enjoying the net and trying to figure out what the heck are these people doing on the air Simplex so much. Like I said, this is our 508th. I can't believe it's that many, but it's a lot. All right, anybody else? Late check-ins, please come in.
KB4. K1 SPD.
Hey, hold on, Scott. I think I heard Tom in there. KB4.
Yeah, KB4 SFN.
I was pretending not to remember your call. I wanted to hear you say.
Sorry, I just came in and flipped the radio on, so I hope I caught you into your net.
Oh, you did. I was taking late check-ins when you jumped in there.
Well, I am late in the check-in. 73, so sorry I missed it the beginning. KB4 SFN.
Well, you were sorry because you missed the breakfast too.
It's called sleep late. KB4 SFN.
Oh no, I completely understand. I haven't slept that late in a long time. I generally have to get up early because my wife comes home from work early, so it messes me up. I have to be up. Well, I don't have to be. It's just I want to have peace in the family. I get up before she gets home. She works so she gets home about 6:20. All right, that was Tom, Kilo Bravo 4 Sierra Foxtrot November, and he is over in Martha, Tennessee. And next up was Scott. How you doing, Scott?
Oh, good. Very well. Hey, how's the audio on this?
The audio to me is fine. Again, I wasn't looking at the screen when you said that. Give me a call one more time.
K1 SPD, just looking for the audio.
Oh, no, the audio is good. It's nice, clear. It's not super loud, but it is nice and clear and concise. And you're burying the needle.
Okay, the audio changed any?
Yeah, a little bit. It came up a couple of notches, and I don't know. Did you just increase the gain? Did you?
No, I switched back to the hand mic. I was using the boom mic on the headset. I think that's must just be an HF element.
Ah, okay. Well, that would make sense because this one's just got a little more loudness to it. The other one, I'll just say it was a little thinner, probably good for HF, better for HF.
Yeah, okay, good enough. Carry on. Don't forget the sideband or the swindle net. K1 SPD.
Yeah, I'm glad you reminded me. I might have forgotten that because I got all discombobulated here with coming to use my computer, and Microsoft took hold of it and started to do that update and really messed up my evening here because I had to drag the other computer over here. And I'd never used it on the net before, but it seems to be doing fine. Well, very good. That was Scott, Kilo 1 Sierra Papa Delta. And he reminded me, he's in Laverne, by the way, and he reminded me we forgot there's a buy-sell swap in Swindle Net. All right, following, and then immediately that is the sideband net on 144.240. And those two both go fairly quickly unless there's a lot of stuff to buy, sell, or there's a lot of check-ins, but we're going to do both. Who else besides Scott and Laverne? Is there anybody else late check-ins? Please come in.
KN4, Papa Romeo.
Hold on, I think that was Russell, but I think I heard Terry. Is that you in there, Terry? KN4.
Charlie, Quebec.
Okay. I thought I heard your voice sound somewhat similar to Terry down there in Murfreesboro. How you doing there, Preston?
Doing well. Trying to get a couple relays on my handheld coming in from Murfreesboro, but with no luck. But I did make it for the late check-in round. Appreciate you getting me in there, Paul.
Yeah, it was good to have you in there. I hadn't heard from you in a little while. You've been a busy boy.
Yeah, it's pretty. Gotta make hay while the sun's shining, so to speak.
Yeah. You can't be turning down work. That's for sure.
Copy that. Well, 73T Paul sounding good as always, sir. KN4CCQ.
Yeah, that was Preston, Kilo November 4, Charlie Quebec, and he's over there in let's see, Possum Trot, I believe that is Possum Trot. And was that Russell I heard in there?
You betcha. Trying to be the last one to check in.
Oh, well, we'll see. And is it Kilo November 4? I forget what your call is. The first part I know is QPR, and I forget what the first part was.
I dropped the November, Kilo 4.
Very good. Very good. Yep. Yeah, because you were, I heard you very well in yeah, that's right. You have a little bit of trouble with some of those with your antenna on that Rutherford County net, don't you?
Yeah. I had the SO239 where the cable plugs in was a real sloppy connection. I didn't know it. I just tried to change ends on it this evening.
Do you think it works out better this way?
I'm not sure if you can tell any difference or not, but my SWR was running up there.
Well, no, you're S9 to me for because you've got a limited antenna set up there, but that's a good signal coming out of Murfreesboro for somebody who's got a limited antenna.
Excellent.
Yeah, we'll see on the next Rutherford County thing if you hear any better, because that was partly the issue. People couldn't hear you too well either. I think that was the problem, wasn't it?
Oh, he's S9 to me.
Yeah, okay, S9 up in Belshire, up in northeast Nashville.
Excellent, thank you.
Well, very good. Oh, Russell is in, I'm trying to remember, is it Murfreesboro? I forget already. Russell, you're where? Yo, Russell.
Laverne.
That's right, it's Laverne. How should I forget Laverne? We can note of that again. Well, very good. That was Russell and Laverne. Kilo 4, Quebec, Papa Romeo. Doing a fine job. Like I said, he was with a limited antenna, and he's doing S9 or so, and good audio. And also heard up in Belshire. They're not doing too shabby. Anybody else? Late chickens.
K4IDC.
All right, Robin. You snuck in, then you snuck back out again. What happened at the breakfast?
I came in and I chatted with a couple of guys, sat next to Michael, and enjoyed my breakfast. Moved on with my day.
Oh, okay. I figured you saw your parole officer or something.
Not everything's fit for public consumption.
Yeah, I know. It was a good group, though. It was a lot of weird. I didn't even get a count. I was just, I wasn't paying much attention to who was there. And I saw who was there, but I wasn't paying attention to how many. I think there were maybe 12.
That'd be about right. Good group. I'm looking forward to the cookies. Haven't eaten mine yet.
Well, they're good. They're good. They're real tasty cookies. Homemade's always better than, store-bought stuff. All right. Well, that was Robin. He's here just 6 miles south of me over by Percy Priest Lake. And it's Kilo 4, India Delta Charlie. Great signal as always. Anybody else late chickens? lollygaggers, lurkers, sandbaggers, SDR listeners, or SDR donglers, really, and so you could have some SDR listeners as well as preppers and the end time survivalists. And I don't know if any. I guess you could have a crystal set listening to us. Anybody else? Well, we had a big night, especially since I didn't send out a reminder. Maybe I'm happy. We had 26 check-ins. We're going on with the buy-sell, swap, and swindle. Not anybody else. Anybody, not anybody else. Anybody have anything they want to sell tonight? Come now.
K1 SPD.
Hey, Scott, what do you got?
Got a couple items. I've got two Alenco handheld mics, the EMS 12 versions with the 8-pin round connectors, two of them. They're both untested, 25 each. Then I also have a Titera MD380 DMR handheld. The only issue with it is just the VHF only model. I bought it by mistake. It comes complete with everything that's brand new in the package, and that one's $70. I'll post both of these on the email blast.
So it's essentially new in box. Didn't drag it out to any camping trips or anything.
No, I bought it technically used, but it's brand new.
All righty. Got anything else in there?
No, that'll do it. K1 SPD.
All right. He's got two Alenco mics, $25. That's $25 each?
Yes.
Okay. And those are the, I think you said they were the EMS 12s, and those are the round thread on with the, how many, I forget how that is. How many is there? 6 or 8 on those connectors?
They're 8-pin. It'll fit a Kenwood, and I know they will work on some Kenwood model radios. Neither one of them would work on mine.
Yeah, I have that as well. In fact, I use a Kenwood mic, the MD, it was a 60. What the heck is that mic? Anyway, the 60 works perfectly on my Alenco radio, and it works also with the adapter into the Kenwood TMV71A. So yeah, they're interchangeable on some radio. Well, very good. And he's also got a Titera. That's that MD380. That's the DMR. That is the DMR, is it not?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, okay. That's that DMR radio. It's a VHF. Victor Hotel Foxtrot. If it does VHS, we're in trouble. Anyway, $70, essentially new in box, just like it would come from the factory. Never been deployed really, but it's $70. It's a good buy for a DMR radio if you look it up on the web. Anybody else got anything to sell?
Whiskey 4 Alpha Whiskey Echo.
All right, John, what you got?
You know, I almost forgot about the Yaesu FT991 I have. It's basically brand new. I bought it several years ago from HRO, but it stayed in the box because I was going through a boat anchor phase at the time, and it's been powered up just on the test bench to make sure the bias PA transistors have the proper current, because some very early ones were shipped improper from the factory, and this was perfect. Full power output will make somebody a great SSB radio, all modes, HF, VHF, UHF.
I thought you sold that one.
No, I got so busy, I just forgot it was still here.
I thought I heard somebody. Mike, are you still there? You were interested in that radio, were you not?
Yes.
Okay, I won't tell anybody then. You get hold of John now then.
Yeah, and it's going to be hard to beat. It's 700, especially when new FT991s are going for 1,100 and 1,200 discounted.
All right, somebody better snatch that up. $700. All right, very good. Anything else, John?
Nothing here.
All right, very good. Good enough. And John's email is good on QRZ. Anybody else have anything to sell?
K4IDC.
Yes, Robin. You might want to submit a list. You've got so much stuff.
Simply going to say, see the email I sent earlier in the week.
Okay, there is an email on there. If somebody needs that, I can pull it down and send it separate if you're not on the email list. But there's everything from, oh gosh, coax and a whole bunch of stuff. It's in there. So you're looking for some coax and some other items, I think there was, but also just roughly, there was, I forget what was on that list, Rob.
Well, in addition to the significant length of 9913, there's some rotor cable or antenna switch cable, however you want to use it. Power tools. I've assembled a rummage box of various electronic components. Includes all kinds of things like meter leads, banana connectors, semiconductors, switches, yada, yada, yada. And there's copious amounts of electrical components like 120 volt outlets, back boxes, breakers, other items along those lines. So see the list. I mean, it was kind of a rough list.
Yeah, very good. For those, if anybody couldn't hear Robin, I'll summarize. It's a whole crap load of electrical and cable items for anything from 9913 cable to rotor cable or all kinds of power tools. And if you look at the list that came out on the group, and if you don't have that list, I can send it to you. You can just let me know. Anyway, there was Robin, Kilo 4, Indy Delta Charlie. If you look on the list, his email's there as well. So, anybody else have anything?
One other thing I want to mention.
Yeah, go ahead.
There's an overflowing 5-gallon bucket of vacuum tubes and a recently uncovered vacuum tube tester.
A vacuum tube tester and a 5-gallon bucket full of old. Is it like old new stock tubes? New old stock tubes?
Both boxed and unboxed.
Oh boy, that's you're gonna have to. Somebody who's retired is gonna have to take that bucket.
Well, judging from the attendance at the breakfast, there's plenty of candidates.
Yes, that's true. That's very true. All right, very good, Robin. We got anything else from anybody else? Please come in.
K4ING in Smyrna, if you copy.
Yeah, I do have you in there. Kilo 4, India, November Golf. How you doing?
Oh, good evening, sir. Handle here is Frank, and of course we're in Smyrna. Since I'm turning 80 this month, I'm thinking about selling my collection of Morse code keys. I have a collection Civil War to present day, and if anybody's interested, I can be reached at my call letters, K4ING at bellsouth.net. That's K4ING at bellsouth.net. So anyone's interested, tell them to give me a call. All these keys are in pristine condition, and I've been collecting them for over 60 years.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I'd love to see a picture of those. That's for sure. That was Frank, Kilo 4, India, November Golf. And I'm going to count him as a chicken. Number 27. And that's Frank. He's in, you said you were in Smyrna. Did I hear that right?
Smyrna, that's right.
Yeah, very good. He's in Smyrna, and he's got essentially 60 years worth of collection of Morse code keys. So going all the way back over 100 years, and he's going to unload the whole. I guess you'll sell them individually as well as collectively if you wanted to, right?
I will try to sell them everything in one time first.
Okay. Well, that sounds like a chunk of change to me. How many do you think there are there, Frank?
Close to 100.
100 Morse code. Wow. 100. All right. There's 100 of them. So if you got more than a few dollars in your hand, he's willing to sell the whole lot to you. The whole, a 60-year collection of Morse code keys. And that's his email is Kilo 4 India November Golf at bellsouth.net. Kilo 4 India November Golf at bellsouth. So give him a call if you're interested in some or, well, all. You prefer, I think, to sell them all. It's a lot easier to do that. Well, very good. Good to have you in there, Frank. Anybody else with anybody buy, sell, swap, or swindle?
No, but I'll check into the net. K4SIB. Good evening, Paul.
No, man. See, I'm counting you as a procrastinator at this point.
Well, I have been helping somebody with their mental health, if you can believe that. But I'm just now being able to get on the radio.
Well, it's like we said earlier. Okay, I got it. My thing's going crazy on me here. My laptop, the one I had to use. But anyway, good to have you in there, Richard. Yeah, as I said, if you opened up, if they had to reopen all those insane asylums and put everybody who had mental problems in, it would be a lot less people on the air.
How about that?
All right, listen, I need to move along here before I run out of battery on my laptop. I didn't realize it says it's in the battery saver mode, whatever that means. Very good, Richard. Good to have you in there, even if you are a little late, but that's good, even though we're in the mode. We're going to go over to any other check-ins quickly before we move over to the sideband. All righty, nothing heard. We're going to move over to 144.240. And if my laptop craps out, the thing will be over anyway. But 144.240 upper sideband, and I'm going there right now. And appreciate everybody who checked in. There was 28 of us, which is a monster. It's an above average number. It's not the biggest number, but it's an above average number, and it just shows the interest that's in Simplex, and I'm glad to see it. Glad to be a part of it. I'm glad everyone could participate. Going over there right now, K4PEW, closing this portion of the net.
Contact.
Yo, what's up, Tom?
Yeah, the frequency again, and are you operating horizontal or vertical?
Most of us are vertical, and it is 144.240 upper side.
144.4 is 00, is that it?
No, 240, 144.240.
Copy. Thank you. Yeah, I'll try to go vertical. KB4SFM.
All right, very good. Catch you in a minute, Tom. K4P, Dave. All right, this is Simplex. This is Mount Juliet Simplex Radio Net, and this is the upper sideband portion of the net. We are on 144.240, taking check-ins, and we'll start the same way from the south. Please come in.
KM4VVA.
All right, we got Dan in there, and right here in Mount Juliet. Who else we got? South.
November 4, Charlie, Quebec.
Sound good in there, Preston. That's Preston down there in Possum Trot. Who else we got south? Please come in.
K4IDC.
K4IDC here just south of Mount Juliet. Sound good as well. Do I sound better on frequency, Robin?
Well, I was trying to get my radio on frequency so I could find out.
Yeah, you sound to be just a hair off, or I'm a hair off, but I got the different radio than I had the last time we did it now. Anyway, let's move on. Anybody else south?
K1SPD.
K1SPD, very good. That was Scott there in Laverne. Who else south, please come on? Over to the east of Mount Juliet. Anybody east or north, please come in. East, north, west, please come now.
West is calling you from Watertown.
Oh, West, I can't hear you, man. All right, let's open up the change the squelch a little bit. Wes, you still in there?
Yeah, you're making me question my sanity. You're S7 here. What's going on?
I don't know. I'm just making you feel bad. No, I didn't hear you. My squelch was messed up on the gain. So again, let me look at the meter here, how you're doing.
KE4TWI, Echo Mike 66.
Yeah, it's not even budging the meter, but the audio is excellent.
Good gracious. All right. You made me question here. KE4TWI.
No, I agree that it obviously wasn't because these the radio, the 857. If I leave it on and I accidentally left it on on squelch for FM, and when you switch over, it sometimes just blocks out low signal. All right, who else is left? Who else is east? Anywhere actually? Oh, west or north? Please come.
Kilo Echo 4 Delta Echo Zulu.
You sound good there, Earl. Very good, actually. Nice, good, solid. In fact, a nice bassy audio there. I'm not sure why it's so bassy, but it sounds great.
That's the way I fixed it.
Okay. Maybe, I don't know. I tried not to get too much, but I tried to compensate with the treble. But anyway, Kilo Echo 4, Delta Echo Zulu. Back to you, Paul.
Yeah, sound great, Earl. Anybody else, north, south, east, or west? Let's do that.
Whiskey 4, Alpha, Whiskey Echo.
Ah, very good, John. You sound great. Tonight's a good night for a sideman, I'll tell you. Anybody else, north, south, east, or west? Well, very good. I'll start at the top. That was me, Kilo 4 Papa Echo Whiskey in Mount Juliet. And then we've got Dan, Kilo Mike 4 Victor Echo here in Mount Juliet. And then we've got Preston, Kilo November 4 Charlie Quebec over in Possum Trot. And we've got Robin, Kilo 4 Indy Delta Charlie here in the Hermitage, south of me about 6 miles. And then we got Scott and Laverne, Kilo 1 Sierra Papa Delta. And then Wes, troubled by his sanity problems because I couldn't hear him. Kilo Echo 4 Tango Whiskey Indy in Watertown. It was good audio though. Even though the signal wasn't there, my radio was locking him out. And then Earl over there in Noreen, over Kilo Echo 4 Delta Echo Zulu, just east of the Cedars, Lebanon. And then we got John, Whiskey 4 Alpha Whiskey Echo in Bellevue, which is how many people is that? It's 8, I think. Yeah, 8. So it's a good number on that. Good participation. Appreciate everybody being there. And so I'm going to close out this portion at 11 minutes after the hour. And appreciate everybody being there. K4PW.
K4IDC, you there? KE4TWI.
Hey, I was going to tell you, you were S3 to me on FM tonight.
Yeah, you were actually bumping the meter too, so the guys must be smiling on us.
Paul, you say you're